Hello, host Eric here, talking with famous people, and I would like to talk in this video with the group attendees, including Abraham just showed up, I guess, and Callum and JC, and I'm glad you're here, Abraham. I definitely want you involved in this conversation. Non-host Mark, and procrastinator rate is better. And what I want to talk about is workplace dynamics, the kind of workplaces that you've encountered and been in, and how they either were conducive to your type's nature or not conducive to your type's nature, or where you didn't fit well or did fit well. For anybody who's had any kind of employment, if you're on, I think Cal may be younger than employment age, I'm not sure. But any thoughts on this? I guess I would start by saying I've been in a number of work environments in my life. I worked at a deli. I liked that a lot, even though it was kind of hierarchical. And I did enjoy that work because it was fast-paced when there was a lot of people in there anyway. And I also worked at a Buick dealership when I was younger than that. That was miserable. I had to file shit. I had to it was by myself. I got to take the papers. I went and put them in the file cabinet. And it was just, there wasn't any thinking to it. And I just had to look for the right file and put it in there. And just moving papers fucking sucked ass. I hated it. But I liked the deli. Why? Well, more interaction with people and just more moving around. And there was a sense of physical fastness to the system you could attain. It was cool. I liked it. I worked at the Boardwalk in Santa Cruz when I was in college. That was an amusement park. There were certain rides I liked to operate and certain rides I didn't like to operate. I liked the one where you went around, you had the sticks, and you made the things go like this. That was pretty fun to operate. You try to make it stay. It was a challenge. You try to make it stay on top, like die as long as possible on the top. So anyway, and then post-college, I also worked during college in a leather factory for a while, and that was fucking miserable. I did that for like 1 week, and I was just like, I can't take this anymore. And it was so incredibly monotonous. One of my jobs was literally take a dime, that's the tool they gave me, a dime, to scrape off spots where the dye on the leather had like gathered up so it made a little speck on it, right? You had to scrape that off. And that was my job, to go through a big fucking stack of these things, scraping those things off. It was miserable. Anyway, obviously that was not conducive to an ENTP's mind. Although I did remember, although I don't think I ever wrote it down, I don't know what it was now, but I made basically a long epic style, old style epic poem while I was working there. I just kept building onto it, repeating it in my head as I was doing it, making this poem up as I was working. But I didn't even write it down, so it was useless. Time wasted. Anyway, after that, I went to teaching and things changed. But I want to hear about your work stuffs. Go ahead, Taylor.
I just want to say that you have to admit that we shine under like soul-crushing boredom sometimes.
We shine under boredom.
That sort of soul-crushing boredom where you've got to kind of invent your own entertainment.
Sometimes, yeah. If you know you can't get out of it, then you have to commit to that, because it takes a long time to give up on getting out of this thing. My mind stays in how to get out of this for a long time before I give up and say, okay, how to make the best of it. Because you're talking about how to make the best of it, right?
Right, because you're there because you need the money.
Right.
But, so what are you going to do to entertain yourself? And there's some weird shit I've come up with.
Yeah. This shit goes on in your head.
Well, I like trying to... I used to try to get other people involved in a game, but no one had a clue that I was like doing anything to entertain myself with their behavior.
Well, you can live off the land, Callum? Congratulations. Are you a farmer? Or do you eat grass? Abraham, you got any comments on workplace environments that are comfortable for you? Do you like this workplace environment? I forgot to tell you, you're supposed to go to that thing today. I was supposed to get you. But I forgot about it.
No, we can't hear you.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, Abraham decided to get a Macintosh, instead of a real computer. So it's always broken as a consequence. Okay, how about you, JC? You got comments on the workplace?
Um, well, I think I might make a good waitress.
Well, what sort of workplaces have you
Sorry.
been involved with before, and did you find them comfortable, uncomfortable? Did you like it? Did you not like it?
Um, Pretty much all of my jobs have been customer service oriented,
Did you like it?
working in. I didn't dislike it. It was okay. I mean, crap jobs like crap college jobs that sucked because they didn't pay enough, but and because I had to stand on my feet for like hours on end. But they weren't bad. I actually think they were pretty good as far as like cognitive functions are concerned. I got to talk to people all day. Like there's nothing bad about that.
Right.
So even if it was like sometimes I get bored because it would be like the same conversation with the same people. Like, oh, it's raining today. How are you? Blah blah blah. And like that got annoying. But like besides that, I actually think I was pretty good at it. Besides that, I am now working with kids, so at like a daycare.
Tire you out?
And yes, uh, I like it. It was really, really hard in the beginning, especially like as far as like classroom management, because I was working with like 3 and 4 year olds, and they freaking talk back, and they weren't my kids. You know what I mean? They're like somebody else's kids, and I'm like, I didn't. I struggled with being, I guess, authoritative, um, but I got better as time went on. I learned a lot. Um, thing with kids is it's hard to get second chances with them. Like once they
Yeah.
kind of know like you, it's all over. It's all downhill from there. But now I'm working with 1 year olds, and that's fun because I basically just play with them all day.
That sounds fun. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah,
sound
they're
very.
like just walking.
It
You don't
doesn't sound
talk.
fun for long, but it sounds fun for
What?
like 5 minutes. um,
No, it's actually. I mean, I actually don't mind it. I mean, changing diapers sucks, but like besides that, it's actually kind of fun. Like I sing song. I basically sing songs to them all day and like play with them. Like I really just play with babies. Really, what I
well, you're
do.
doing them a great service because you're singing to them and you're teaching them good pitch, right? Because a lot of people might sing to them, but they might have bad pitch. So I don't know if that's something you're just naturally born with, but I'm pretty sure it develops over time. And you want to get them exposed to good pitch right away. You got good pitch, so.
Sure. And a
Um,
lot of it is just like making sure they're not climbing on stuff, trying to keep them from putting crap in their mouth. Safety stuff like that.
so you keep them out of the box full of rusty, jagged stabs of old metal.
We don't have boxes like that,
You don't
but
keep those
yeah,
in a
sure.
box near the children.
Don't you? I got some.
No, you don't keep those in a box around children.
Oh. Well, what are we gonna do with this box of old rusty stabs of rusty brown iron and corrugated tin shards and stuff
Yeah.
like that? Honey, just
Give it to
take
the
it down to
baby
the
to play with,
preschool.
and then you can
Go
sing.
donate it to the preschool. You know they want it.
Right. You save on buying toys. You don't have to buy toys, right?
Right.
It's great.
Build something, children. Build something with this.
I bet that
Yeah.
most kids, even babies, I bet even babies at one would probably not hurt themselves too terribly unless it was a wicked box. People tend to assume that kids are just like the most retarded, self-destructive, suicidal things on earth.
I agree with
No,
you.
I don't think that. I don't think that, but I do think they put a lot of stuff in their mouth. I mean,
You
that's
use a
just
lot of hand
true.
sanitizer.
What?
You use a lot of hand sanitizer.
I wash my hands so many times throughout the day that it's impossible to count.
No, I mean like the
The,
gel.
Yeah, I know you mean the gel. I mean, I actually don't use a lot of the gel because I wash my hands
I'm
like.
not judging you.
No, yeah,
I'm not
I'm
critiquing
telling
your
you.
intention.
I'm telling you, I don't use a lot of hand sanitizer because
She uses
But you seem
turpentine.
like I admit
no
that.
need for it. There's no need for it.
She has straight
Okay, well, I
turpentine.
actually
She
agree
just
with you
pours it
about
on her
that.
hands, paint thinner. Make sure that all
What?
the spit gets off of them. I'm saying turpentine, if you considered using that to clean your hands.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
paint thinner will take off all of the baby spit. Right? First time.
Mm,
It's a good
right.
solution. So, you're not planning on being a a early child development person forever, right, JC? You're planning on going to psychology and stuff like that eventually, maybe, or just want to do something else eventually, maybe.
I either want to do like work in a school doing like guidance counselor and or school psychologist. That's one option. Option two is like go and get some type of like do more like research stuff in child development. Um, less counseling, more writing
Why
papers
don't
and
you want to
that.
sing instead?
Why haven't you sang yet?
Why haven't I
To
sang?
us.
What?
To
Just
us.
What?
sing us a song. Sing Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That one?
Yeah.
Hallelujah. 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 Words. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Da
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 da da
da da da da da. Right?
da 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 da. Da 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 da. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Wait for the song.
Hallelujah. Okay, I'm done.
Oh,
That's a good song, JC. It sounded great. I love that song. First of all, it's a fucking brilliant melody. You sing beautifully. Uh, it's beautiful.
Thanks.
Uh,
That was good.
hello.
Thank
uh,
you.
hi,
Hi.
hi, Abraham. You want to talk
Okay,
about workplace environment and what a hard ass I am?
um, Eric's not a hard ass. I think that sometimes he just freaks out a little bit, but it's not a hard ass.
Yeah.
It's never to the point where I'm like, fuck, I hate my boss or something. I think a lot of my friends are like that,
I'll
but
get it's
not
freaking out.
me. It's alright.
I do tend to yell at Abraham a lot. If you were somebody who couldn't handle being yelled at, I would be a bad person to work for because I do tend to freak out and yell at Abraham. If I'm having a really bad time of things right at this moment, there's a good chance that Abraham's going to get yelled at, even if it's not his fault. Somebody's getting yelled at here,
That's
and Abraham's right there. So,
it's horrible. I mean,
He likes it.
what?
He likes it.
Abraham, do you like getting yelled at?
What the fuck?
Do you like getting yelled at? Derek?
No.
You're leading the witness.
Okay. Well,
I'm just out of direction, Your Honor. Strike on the record.
so first of all, it's not as bad as Eric says it is. I think as a dude, it's just like, whatever. You know? Whatever does happen is like, yeah, whatever. But I'm not the type of person to like be like, oh my god, he's screaming, you know? Just,
Right.
but it's not something that's like to the extent where I'm like, well, Eric screamed at me, and I feel like so emotionally disturbed or something. You know, it's just like Because when it does happen, I think it's kind of reasonable. Because chances are I feel the same way about the situation. So,
Right.
It is fun to watch, kind of. I mean, I don't know what the receiving end of it is like, but 100% of my experiences of Eric yelling at people have been good.
It is kind of fun to watch, actually. Even I kind of agree with that.
the thing is, because are you guys like frequent, like, are you guys frequent on Eric's channel?
Yes.
Yeah, it's because you guys see him.
So it's like a week and a half now.
You guys see Eric.
We what?
Throw blows. That's why. Like,
When he's in what mode?
I've been really, really regular for like a week and a half now.
I'm saying, like,
True.
you guys see Eric when he's ready to throw blows, like when he's ready to argue and stuff. That's when he gets like really passionate. And then maybe when you
know him in real life.
like a different type of like screaming, I guess.
It's a different type of screaming.
Yeah, because you guys see Eric like, I guess when he's passionate and like arguing about something. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Sometimes I leave. I'm just like, I can't handle this right now. It's not even like I feel bad. It's just like it like hurts my brain.
It hurts your brain. Yeah.
Like the
I've
topics hurt
argued
my
with
brain.
Eric. I mean, when I argue with Eric, it's funny. It's like it gets so serious, and then I'll say something that's stupid, and he'll say something that's like stupider. Like it'll be something out of context. It'll literally be like, "Well, did you gather enough poop this morning?" And it'll be like, "What the fuck?" Like literally. And then we don't even take it to that extreme, I guess. It's like whatever.
He was
But yeah.
What do you
Well,
think?
now I want to see him get really, really mad.
What
I
happened?
want to see him. Taylor said he wants to see Eric get really, really mad.
Who the
I
the procrastinator guy, or
Yeah, his name's Taylor.
I was bored. Yeah.
well, if you want to, all you have to do is either A, be stubborn, B, or be very wrong, or C, like continue arguing against any of Eric's criteria. Or
Just
frankly,
argue stupidly
Probably.
without a reason or whatever.
Wait, what?
I said just argue stupid without a reason.
Just argue stupid without what?
Without a reason.
Without any like logic or whatever behind it.
I think Eric and I do that a lot. But it's not like, it's because the thing is, when you guys think argue, you guys think of like screaming or something, right? When we think argue, coming out of like forensics, which is fancy for speech and debate, it's like we're trying to win an argument, but it's not like a argument, you know what I mean? It's like debating, basically. There's a difference. There's a difference between like just arguing and, you know, like orderly having a discussion about something.
Yeah. When we have an orderly debate, when two people are exchanging ideas, it involves screaming as loudly as possible.
Eric, you made it sound like you're like, I don't know, you made it sound like you're a very horrible person now. Like right after you left, they're just like, bro, does he scream? Like, does it bother you?
You're screaming.
And I'm like, no, it doesn't, because it's not like, it's never that bad. It's just, and when it does get that bad, I'm just like, whatever, fuck this, and like I'll go somewhere else or something, you know?
It's
Don't need to be
short.
such a snitch because he's reporting everything. But not everyone's being mean. I think it's great.
Not everyone's being mean to whom? Oh, me? Who? I don't know. The point is,
Remember
there was
Remember
one
that
time
time-
when I are you going to talk about the tournament?
yeah.
Well,
The time Eric almost had a heart attack, and I was doing like 5 million things at once. He was
Well,
like, Abraham.
that's not what happened.
That was fucking hilarious though. Eric's head was about to pop off.
There
He
were a
was
couple.
like, where's this? Where's that? And I'm like, hold on, I'm fucking doing this. He's like, no, we have to do this. And it was just like, it was a mess. Like, it wasn't
a mess.
well organized.
Because here's
That's
what
what
happened.
happens. But wait,
I put
let me just say
him
this.
in charge of it. Yeah, he wasn't ready, and I knew he wasn't ready, but I didn't feel like doing it. I just sort of said, "Well, I'll just figure it out."
That's what happens when you put like an 18-year-old in charge of running a whole fucking like.
Yeah, I didn't feel like doing it myself. You told me you could do it. I knew you were. I knew you had no fucking clue, but I just chose to ignore what I knew and just believe you anyway because I was just like, "Fuck, I don't want to do it."
And that shit was fucking fun. Though.
Willful blindness. I was just like, I'm not gonna see him fucking up. That way, I don't have to fix it.
Like people might have thought the tournament ran really bad, but as far as I know, I did a fucking kick-ass job of finishing the day.
You did a good job that day of riding out a fucking stormy day. I'll tell you that. That was a stormy day.
I'd like to give a special shout out to our homie from Nova 42. There was a separate coach that was helping us that day too a little bit with the tabbing. I fucking hate doing math, yo. I could do anything at a tournament if I know how to do it, you know. But except for math, anything math related, like tabulation, all that, fuck that. Fucking kill myself.
Well, don't worry. We're not gonna do it like that anymore. So. Other workplace environments, not host Mark, you've had any workplace environments, how you fit in with them, etc.? Any thoughts on the matter?
I mean, I worked for a yard work company, and that was okay as long as you got like all of the stuff you're supposed to get done that day. You could get paid for 8 hours. So if you got done in 5, you know, you can take 3 off or whatever and still get paid, which was cool. I did like filing and stuff, and I hated that. I got to think a lot, which was okay, but there's like not much there to like add to your thought process.
It's pretty
You
boring.
Yeah.
Boring.
Once you figure out the filing system, you don't really even get to think anymore then.
Yeah, I mean, there was a coffee machine, so pretty much just like chugged coffee the entire time. That was okay.
I've had jobs like that, and then you get really like, then you've had too much coffee.
I get sick. No, my stomach gets upset when I have too much coffee. I hate it. And I'm now working on a farm, which is a lot better. Like you can still think and stuff, but you have stuff that's adding to what you can think about, which is neat.
Do you ride a cow from place to place?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's fucking dope.
That's cool. I want one. I want a cow in my front yard.
Do you have horses where you work?
Yeah, there's only one horse, but we're training her for a competition that's coming up, which is pretty cool.
No. I don't like horses. I'm not an animal person, but I specifically don't like horses because they give you that one-eye look, and I think they size you up like instantly.
Yeah, it depends what kind of horse it is too. Like this one's an Arab, and a lot of people say Arabs are like hotheads or whatever, but I mean I don't think so. I think they're pretty calm for the most part. Especially this one. She's really nice.
Say again?
Did you say Arabs? Like Arabs? Alright.
It's a kind of horse. Arabians.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
Yeah. Horses are fine. You should try riding them upside down, Taylor, if normal riding doesn't work for you.
The worst part though is you gotta clean. I mean, she's a mare, so you have to clean her junk and whatnot, and that gets kind of gross.
Can't you just hose it out or something?
Yeah, there's like
Do they give you a mop?
squirter.
Stand back with a sprayer.
And then she's got to be okay with it, so you got to make sure that she's preoccupied with something while you're doing it. She's got
How
to
do
be
you
cool.
know she's...
You have to be tender.
You have to be very tender.
You have to whisper tender things to her first. Okay, honey, here I go. Get ready for the mop. Okay, so that's. I mean, I think I would like to work on a farm. It sounds fun. I think I would probably get sick of it after about 2 hours. But if the day started at like 4 a.m. and went to like noon, I could hang with that, you know.
Yeah.
I can work on the farm if the people were cool.
What about the animals? What if the animals were uncool though?
Does the place that you work really matter if the people are cool?
No. The place doesn't matter.
If you're
It does a
working,
little bit. It does. Yes, it does. Yes, it
I'm
does.
pointing out that to JC, I'm sure it doesn't.
I mean, no, but it does. It does actually. Like, I thought more about it, and it does, but it matters less if I like the people that I'm working with. Like, they can kind of make up for a crap job.
I'm gonna go pee.
Sure.
well, I mean, here's the thing. If you're concerning yourself a lot with the other people at work, you're not really working.
True. Well, it depends on the job.
Some jobs it's your job to
Like,
chat with your
okay.
coworkers.
Okay,
I'm
this
on
job
the
that I
job
have right
chatting.
now. Okay, this job that I have now, I have tons of time to chat with the coworkers. I'm not chatting with any. I mean, I'm watching babies and chatting with coworkers.
JC, you're supposed to be
while
teaching them calculus right now. What are you doing? Chatting with your coworkers?
I'm teaching a
Gosh.
1-year-old. That's what I'm doing.
All right, well that makes sense.
Well, I mean,
Okay, it makes sense for you.
I'm saying
Fine.
there's tons of time. There's tons of time to chat with coworkers. I'm not saying I'm spending that could possibly make up for. I mean, there's 2 hours where the kids are just sleeping, so tons of time to chat.
What do you chat about? Would you like your coworker?
I don't really know them yet.
Sounds like a lot of idle time.
You should bring a sketchbook.
It's not. Well, like during their nap time, we clean the room. We get like little craft stuff together. We put up pictures on the wall and like bulletin board stuff.
You should get a Dremel tool.
I bet that they've got their little fucking smoke a blunt and play crosswords or something. That's when the shit goes down.
What's your job?
And like
Smoke a blunt, play
there's the
crosswords.
occasional kid that wakes up crying that you gotta, rock him back to sleep. My job.
Go back to sleep, little baby. I don't want to go back to sleep. Shut the fuck up. Go back to sleep. Can't you see I'm over here cleaning up over this, putting some crafts together and shit?
My head. What I say in my head. Can't say that to the baby, but yeah.
Yeah, probably not a good idea. Hi, what is that? Rolf? Oh, wait, they're offline. Rolf? It's a good name. It's a very Germanic name.
Rolf? Like freaking what's the thingy with the nuns? The Sound of Music.
The Sound of Music. I was gonna say a convent is what my answer
That
was.
was fully bad.
You didn't like Sound of Music?
I haven't seen it since I was like 10.
Do you want the hills to be dead?
With the
I
sound
don't want to watch
of
it.
It's got some good songs.
So I don't want to ever understand that line that you just referenced, and I'm sure it's from the movie.
It's one of the first. You must have heard that. The hills are alive with the sound of music.
I mean, I recognize that phrase.
Hmm.
The Sound of Music is one of those things like what was that play that was real popular and it turned into a movie about people with AIDS, like Rent?
Oh yeah, I would not want to see Rent. I would not want to see Rent.
There's just certain.
I'm sorry, I'm like kind of slap happy.
You know, with the trannies, Rocky Horror, there are just certain parts of culture that I just don't want to touch with a stick.
La Vivo when.
The Sound of Music is in there.
Well, then you're really not going to want to see my new Broadway production of The Rent plus Sound of Music plus also Rocky Horror Picture Show. Now that would be an interesting one.
I really like.
If you could put Rent into Sound of Music, forget the Rocky Horror Picture Show, just those two, so that it's set in the same time period, but everybody has AIDS. It's the only difference. It's the same as the normal Sound of Music, but everybody has AIDS, and all their songs are about AIDS. It'll be perfect.
The two make it positive, and I think I'd watch that.
We'll call
That
it
makes no
full-blown
sense.
Sound of Music. Full-blown Sound of Music.
That's horrible.
Okay, so go ahead, JC. I don't know. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
I wasn't saying anything at all. I was singing songs.
Oh, you were. Okay. All right, well, let's stop this video. And in fact, I think it's going to be a stopping point because I'm now out of cigarettes, which means I need to go to the store. So it seems like a good time part. Thanks all for being here. Thanks for watching at home. And don't forget, again,